Let the record reflect that there are 20 present and 1 absent. Mrs. Stanley is on a family emergency this evening, and we'll talk with her. The first 30 minutes of each kind of council meeting are reserved for public speaking. I ask any member of the public that wishes to address the council this evening do so about an item that is specifically on the agenda, and you must be a resident and or a taxpayer in the city of Danbury to address the council this evening. With that, is there any member of the public that wishes to address the council? Is there any member of the public that wishes to address the council? Salford.
My name is Chris Halfar, 8 Settlers Hill Road, Danbury. Good evening, Your Honor, members of the council. I'd like to speak on item number 20, the grants agency review. I'm concerned about the process for the review and specifically as how independent it will be. I would like the council to ask some questions this evening about the specifics of it. For example, the recruitment of volunteer reviewers, is that going to be done only through the mayor's office, or can anybody who's a member of the Danbury community go to United Way and volunteer? For example, I have already left my name with United Way, and I'm wondering if my name is then going to go to the mayor's office for approval. I'd also like to make sure that the composition of the teams will be completely independent. That the whole process, I think the idea of consistency and impartiality and accountability are all very good, but for that to be the case, the review has to be totally under the control of the United Way and not be affected in any way by any agency of the city government. Another concern I have is the idea of core agencies. From the ad hoc committee report, it was mentioned that the goal here is to avoid politicizing the process. But it seems if you have a few core agencies that are covered in the city budget, that's politicizing the process because these are agencies that have special favor. So one of the questions I'd like for the council to address is what are the criteria for core agencies? How do they get to be core agencies? Thank you very much.
Myself or anybody else, any other member of the public wishes to Mr. Taversack?
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Lynn Taversack. I live at 110 Haystown Road in Danbury. And I'm also have some concerns about item number 20, the grant agency review. I know that this is an attempt to take the politics out of grant agency decisions, but I'm also concerned that there are fewer agencies. Some of the agencies that were reviewed in earlier budgets have become line items in the city budget. So I wonder if the rest of the grant agencies are like the wretched refuse on the teeming shore. Are they the leftovers? Are they going to be scrapping for the crumbs at the table? So that's a big concern. I think that we don't want this process to be political. I've always said that it was like a candy dish on the coffee table in the mayor's anteroom, that you had to be favored by the administration in order to get funding. If this is an attempt to take the politics out, I would not expect to see someone like Elise Marciano on that review team, because she certainly politicized it last year in her attacks on the Hispanic Center. So I hope you can take the politics out. Very concerned that, like Danbury Youth Services, the Regional Y, the Women's Center, perhaps the War Memorial, aren't in this mix. They've been taken out. So please ask questions, and we'd like to hear the answers.
Any other member of the public wish to address the council this evening? Any other member of the public? Having seen none, we'll move on with our announcements for this evening. We have a number of birthdays and anniversaries, again in no particular order. Mr. President, the minutes, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we Waive the reading of the minutes as all members have copies, and copies are in the city clerk's office.
Motion made and seconded by Councilman Negrishet. Are there any changes, corrections, or deletions to the minutes as presented? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds on acceptance of the minutes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying nay. Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously. Mr. Majority Leader, the consent calendar, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The consent calendar for March 3rd, 2009. Number 3, receive the communication and confirm the appointment of Gary Falkenthal to serve as a member of the Danbury Library Board of Directors with a term to expire January 1st, 2012. Number 4, receive the communication and accept the donations to the Department of Elderly Services totaling $75, placing to line item 5002.6000 donations and send the appropriate letters of thanks. Number 5, receive the communication and accept the donations from Mr. David M. Gerlich, $100 to be deposited to the account 5000.4659.93, and Mrs. Pat Larson, $10 to be deposited to account number 6000.2010 to the Danbury Fire Department and send the appropriate letters of thanks. Number 7, receive the communication and accept the donation from Dr. and Mrs. Richmond Hubbard in the amount of $100 to the Danbury Library, deposit into the Library Fund .4651 donations and send the appropriate letters of thanks. Number 10, receive the communication and adopt the resolution authorizing the Corporation Council to renew the Council's previous approval of the acquisition of property for the Hawthorne Terrace water system. Number 11, receive the communication and adopt the resolution regarding the State of Connecticut real estate tax abatement for the Beaver Street Apartments Cooperative Incorporated. Number 12, receive the communication and adopt the resolution to authorize Mayor Mark D. Boughton to enter into or amend contractual instruments with the Department of Social Services of the State of Connecticut for Child Day Care Program. 13, receive the communication and adopt a resolution to authorize Mayor Mark D. Boughton or Scott Leroy to apply for and accept the funding from FEMA through the United Way for purpose of acquiring homeless shelter supplies. 14, receive the communication and adopt a resolution to authorize Mayor Mark D. Boughton or Scott Leroy to apply for and accept grant funding from the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health through the Connecticut Association of Directors of Health for a lead poisoning prevention program. Number 15, receive the communication and adopt a resolution to authorize Mayor Mark D. Boughton or Paul Estefan to execute and file application, contract, and agreements, including a memorandum of agreement with the Connecticut Department of Emergency and Homeland Security to participate in the fiscal year 2007 spending plan for equipment. Number 16, receive the report and approve the recommendations of the Committee of the Whole. 17, receive the report and take no action. That would be the consent, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Seaver. Any changes to the consent calendar as presented? Seeing none, then I'll try your minds on adopting the consent calendar. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, signify by saying nay. Ayes have it, motion carries unanimously.